It looks like it's fixed, baby. Let's see. Come on, please tell me it's fixed. Zeb's Dirt and Demo, thank you for joining. I'll give it a few minutes. Looks like everyone's joining again. All things earth moving. Can you see and hear me loud and clear? Thank you for joining. I restarted my phone and for some reason it works now. I don't know. Bloody technology, I tell you. What else we got? TikTok. What have we got? A couple of viewers. Let's go, guys. Come on. Why is that also pausing? I don't know, man. This technology is crap. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Here we go. I was just listening to to the last pod. Thanks, Zebs. Thank you. Is that the last live session, the one I just put up? All right, so I'll just wait I'll give it another minute or so, and then we'll see how many people join. And once again, I can't see the time on here, which I really hate because I can't tell how long I'm going for. Actually, I've got it here. 5 o'clock. I've got another 2 minutes. All right. I'll give it another couple of minutes. Thanks for joining, guys. I'm going to kick off another weekly session in a minute. So grab your drinks. We'll be here for another hour. I've got mine. Let's kick back on a Sunday afternoon and just talk. It's a good time to relax after a hard week. And after a bit of a weekend, short break, we can actually start getting back into business. Tristan is asking a question. We've got questions so quick. Just wondering if a Komatsu PC55 is a good machine to start a business with. You know what, Tristan? Good thing that you asked that. Before I start my session, I just did a test run. If you go to one of my YouTube videos, you'll see I did a comparison between a Komatsu PC55 and my Kubota U55. Komatsu, great machine. I think the PC55 is fantastic if you intend to do a lot of work sitting in that seat. Very comfortable machine. It's a little bit sort of slower and smoother than the Kubota, which I find is good if you're going to be in there all day. So it won't you won't get like back pain and stuff like that and bounce around and things. And it had nice smooth digging and stuff. And apparently you can adjust hydraulics if you want it to be a little bit quicker or something. Someone told me that. So yeah, if you are considering a Komatsu PC55, I think overall it's a good machine in my opinion. So yeah, no, if you've got your eyes set on one, just do it, man. All right, so I'm going to start in a minute. Just have one more sip before we start. Hopefully I answered your question there, Tristan. All right, if everybody can hear me, I'm going to make a start. Hello and welcome to another one of my live sessions, guys. So these are my weekly lives where on a Sunday afternoon, when we're all starting to get ready for another week of work, we can talk a little bit of earthwork stuff and kick off a new week. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ivan Orlovic. I also have an excavation business called Eagle One Industries. So I do have my own little business and we do all sorts of excavation work. I have been streamlining it. So I have actually really compacted my business down to only like very minimal machines. I don't have workers anymore. And that's also why I'm able to concentrate a bit more on this Earthworks Hub stuff. So Earthworks Hub, basically it's a podcast channel. So you've got myself talking to different people in the industry, trying to find out what everyone else is doing, sharing their learning, sharing their journeys so that we can all learn from that and help each other. On the other note, I've got my website there, which is earthworkshub.com.au, and that is a business directory as well. So for anyone that is in the earthworks industry, make sure that you list your business on that website so we can all see your business and use your services. So it doesn't matter what you do in the earthworks industry, make sure you list your business on the website, earthworkshub.com.au. If you go on the website, you will see a number of sponsors. So I've got a couple of really good sponsors now. One of them is Melbourne Tractors, as you can see by the Cabelco hat. They're a Cabelco dealer. But the other sponsors are, and I've got to give a big shout out to them, is Network Finance, Nexgen Landscapes and Earthworks, the Bole Group, Melbourne Tractors, obviously, and JR Safety Co. So thank you to all my sponsors. Your sponsorship really means a lot to me. Like I was saying in a few other podcasts, sponsorships will help me keep all my equipment, such as these microphones, audio interfaces, cameras, everything. Will keep me up to date so I can create better content and give you guys what you want. So thank you very much for all my sponsors. What I wanted to say is, so you've probably noticed that I posted today, last week or the week before. Sorry, I didn't do a live last week, but the week before I did a live and actually recorded it. So what I'm going to do now is, apart from doing podcasts and talking to individuals, I'm going to actually also post these weekly lives. So anyone that can't be here for one of the lives, or missed one of the past ones, or heard something and want to go back, you can actually go back and listen to them now. So I'm going to put in a weekly live on all my Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. So make sure, if you do, or if you need to leave early and you can't be here for the whole session, you can go back and listen to them. So make sure you tune into those. So today's session will also be recorded, and I'll be posting it up. So like I said, I didn't get a chance to do a live last week, and that was because I was at Diesel Dirt and Turf. So I'll be getting into that in a moment. That was a massive, massive weekend, really exciting. Met a lot of people, but I'll get into that in a sec. I'll do a couple of quick updates on myself. I'll talk about a few topics again, and then I'll open it up to you guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks to everyone for joining. All right, so a bit of an update. So Diesel Dirt and Turf, I ended up driving there in my ute. So I'm not sure if everyone remembers, but my ute actually broke down a few weeks back. The timing belt snapped on the old Mitsubishi Triton, and it resulted in bent valves and all sorts of stuff in the head and just a whole bunch of other dramas. Wasn't sure what to do, whether it was worth fixing it or trying to sell it, getting a secondhand motor. I had all these different options, and thanks to you guys, everybody was chipping in and giving me advice. So once again, thank you for that. That is all fixed. I ended up just getting a brand new head from eBay. My mechanic put it all together, put a couple of other new parts on there, and the good thing is it drove me to Sydney and back. So obviously it works, everything's fine. So thank you to my mechanic for that. Thanks for joining us. So on Insta, we've got Platinum Training, Rural Vegetation, AXM, we've got Ground Level Media. Thanks for joining. Shotgun Mechanical on TikTok. So I've got a couple of things going at once here on TikTok. Thank you to Clayton, Notorious, Caleb, Marshall, everybody else. Wilson Civil, thank you guys for joining. So yeah, the ute is all up and running. It got me to Diesel Dirt and Turf in Sydney and back. So I'm very, very happy with that. And I'll probably be stuck with that ute for another 10 years now. Project Spalding. So the factory that I'm building, that is still moving along nicely. All the wall panels are almost complete. I think there's a couple of panels to get finished. And then I'm told that they're going to start lifting up the panels. So the walls are going to go up in the next week or two, probably 2 weeks, I'd say. The walls will start going up. Then the steel guys are going to start putting up all the purlins and that, and joining all the panels and getting the roof ready. And then I'll have to get the roofer in. So yeah, Project Spalding moving along nicely. And like I said, I didn't do a live last week. So the main reason is I was at Diesel Dirt and Turf. I was going to do a live from the hotel, but the reception was so bad that it couldn't even do a live. I actually tried to do a live from Diesel Dirt and Turf and couldn't get reception. It just wasn't working. So I gave up on that idea and just tried to do as many posts when I got back. So hopefully you guys are watching all those posts. I've still got a lot more to go. I met a lot of people at Diesel Dirt and Turf. It was my first expo that I went to as Earthworks Hub, I suppose. And I really, really wanted to see what it was like. And I really wanted to meet a lot of people face to face. So a lot of guys I've spoken to, either through my socials or emails or on the phone. But this was actually a good chance to see a lot of people face to face. And I think it was a really good success. Overall, Diesel Dirt and Turf, wonderful, wonderful event. Um, my hat goes off to the organisers. I mean, to organise so many stalls and so many, what do you call it? So just so many things going on at once, for them to be able to organise all that. That my hat goes off to you. It's a big task. And overall, the show I think went really, really well. Even all the parking and that, they had a lot of traffic controllers there, and they really controlled it well. So no, really, really, really good. Perfect weather for anyone that was there. We had 26, 27 every day. Beautiful, beautiful weather. I think I actually got a bit of heat stroke on the second day. Thank you for the likes, guys. Yeah, I think I got a bit of heat stroke, but it was really good. Really, really good weather. Thanks for joining us. We got Stevenson Bricklaying. We got Harrison. Who else? We got Mons, Matt MC, Tristan. Thank you very much for the likes and for joining. So yeah, no, Diesel Dirt and Turf, great weather in Sydney. Apparently the week before they had shocking weather. They had rain and it washed everything out. So lucky we didn't have that. Yeah, I actually went on my own. So I sort of was hoping that I'd meet a lot of people there, and I did. It worked out really, really well. I really, really want to say thank you to the Digger Lead boys. So Joel and Luke, I got to meet them face to face, and I actually spent a lot of time at their stand. So thank you for letting me hang around there. And also to the Cadjo gang. So if anyone hasn't seen my videos on the Cadjo grease system, I really reckon you should check it out. I think it's a fantastic idea. It's basically, you can use your old grease guns, so whether they're the old mechanical style or the new cordless, you can just put a little adapter into the cordless one, and you can use these grease guns, the grease tubes that don't actually need the plunger. They just sort of like an old silicon gun or whatever you call it. You can see the internal moving inwards and suction. It's done by suction basically, yeah. So I think the Cadjo system is a really, really good greasing system. No waste, no mess. They screw in. Don't have to peel off the lids and get grease everywhere. So fantastic idea. Check it out anyway. But thank you to the Digger Lid boys for letting me hang around there. What else was I going to say? So yeah, they were really, really long days. I spent from the time it opened, from whatever it was, 9:30 till 5 every day there, and walked around, met heaps of stalls. So I didn't get to every single stall, but I'll tell you what, I reckon I got to 80%. And got to say hello to a lot of people, and a lot of people were happy for me to do little 20-second videos on their products. And it was good. It was a good learning experience to learn and see what new products are out there and what new services. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Penny, Bevo, Christy. We've got a few people here. Chriso, we've got Tinks. All right. So some of the bigger things at the event as well. Westrac, they unveiled the Cat 255. So I did a little video on that. I was very happy to be there. Apparently that was the only one in Australia. Westrac had their hands on it and unveiled it there. Fantastic looking machine. So I didn't see it like in action, or I didn't see it turn on or whatever, but just looking at that 255, which is basically the new version of the 259, it looks really, really tough and looks like it's a good working machine. So some of the big changes on that from the 259 is there's a ram now that pushes the arm upwards rather than sideways. They've got a really, really thick arm on it now. So I just hope that thick arm doesn't actually block the viewing of the bottom of the bucket now. So that's one thing that I loved about the old Cats, that you could actually see the bottom and the back of your bucket. I just hope that thicker arm hasn't changed that. So I couldn't tell because of the way we're sitting in it. But I'm sure one day I'll get a seat in one and actually get to test it out properly. They got a single track system now, so not a two-piece, just a single piece track system. So no more cracking of that little extended torsion piece. What else is there? Some different power. Basically, you can just upgrade the flow just through software. So you can make it a high flow machine just through some software changes. The inside looks nice, very, very comfortable. So I think there's a few changes in there, probably more than I can probably mention, I suppose. But I'll be really, really keen to go and sit in one and actually see what it feels like. And I'd be really keen to actually see it up close, um, without so many people. There's a lot of people floating around. I couldn't get too close to it. I got a seat in it, but it was only like 2 seconds. So yeah, the Cat 255 unveiling, that was one of the biggest features. I couldn't wait to see that. I got to meet Ash, so Ashton Laverington, I think that's how you pronounce it, from Komatsu. He let me sit in one of the PC138s, so the 13-ton Komatsu. I got a seat in that, and he showed me the RFK, so retrofit kit, which is their guidance system, and also has a payload meter on it. So as you're loading trucks, you can monitor that, and you can see how much you've put in. Because I know a lot of us that load trucks find it hard, quickly writing down each rego, each truck, you can have that all tracked now. You can do a payload meter and actually tell you how many tons or whatever you've put into each truck. So it's a really good system. Retrofit, so you can move it around between machines, which is good. Thanks for joining. What do we got? Waikato Digger, Rado, J-Rod, Josh Weaver, thanks for joining. Yeah, so that was really good to meet Ash there. I also got to use the, what was it? It was a Bobcat Posi track from the digger stand, and they had their new digging bucket on there. So they had a new 4-in-1 that they've changed a few things on. And I'll tell you what, it was interesting. It was an odd looking bucket, but it actually worked really well. So I got to have a bit of a go in that. I had a go on a simulator. Nicola, thanks for joining. Yeah, I got to go on a simulator from the Dival boys. So Dival, Earth Moving, and Civil. They what they have is they're like a simulator that they take around to schools and to other events. And on that simulator, you can actually be either in an excavator. I think it was a dozer. A couple of other things. They also have a truck simulator, so you can simulate driving a truck. And they use that to sort of stimulate some interest in the young people to get in the industry and get a feel for using machinery in that. So I think it's a fantastic idea. I met all the guys from Dival and had a bit of a go on there, and fantastic group of guys, especially Andy as well, the owner. So cheers to Andy for having a bit of a chat with me. Maybe we can do some more together. And they're from the Goulburn Valley. So yeah, Dival, very nice guys to meet, and that simulator is an awesome system. Thanks for joining, Dave, as well. All right, and Vixter. All right, what else have we got? So the unveiling, West Track. I got to meet a lot of other people. If I miss out on some, I apologise, but I did have a good catch up with the Elite Attachments group. I had to go on the EI Engineering little 1.8 tonner, I think they had, and they had their new little quick hitch system on there, which is a single lock system, which meets all standards. Elite does a little single lock system as well now, which means that your unhitching and hitching of buckets will be a lot quicker. So keep an eye out for those. Who else did I see? I saw Earth Moving Warehouse, which I had on here earlier. I saw them join us. What else was there? We saw heaps of people. I saw Dean Trailers. I hope you guys saw that. Dean Trailers has have some trailers that attach to your vehicle, so that you can actually drag them along with your ute, and they're like a little tilting tipper trailer, so you can actually load them up with soil or material. I think you can put like 2.2 ton of material on there. You can tip it off, come back, put your machine on there, 1.8 tonner or whatever. Some really, really good ideas I saw floating around there. Got to see some of the I don't even know how to say it. How do you say it? Is it Engcon? Anyway, I saw their little rotating hitches, and steel wrist was there as well. So it was very, very interesting to see those things in action in real life. So I reckon that is the way of the future. They did some demos there, laying pipes with the steel wrist rotating hitches that looked like it made life so much easier. They dug with the same bucket dug with a bucket, grabbed with the grab attachments, just grabbed pipes, put them in the ground, just twisted them around whichever way they wanted, put one pipe into another. It just made life look like it'd be so much easier using that system. What else? So was anybody else here at Diesel Dirt and Turf? If anyone wants, you can make some comments. I'm happy to read them out. Thanks for joining. We got Foster Earth Moving, X Corp. We got Kenny. Thanks for joining, Dave as well. Yeah, what I was going to say is there was what else was there? A couple of interesting things. I saw Concrete Taxi were there. A couple of guys were asking how that actually works. So these guys do little small batch deliveries of concrete. So they'll bring you a little truck with concrete bags in there and a mixer incorporated into the truck, so you can mix as you need. Dirt Pirate, thanks for joining. Yeah, so that Concrete Taxi apparently works in just small batch stuff. So some guys after I posted that were asking for Concrete Taxi in particular, they were asking why wouldn't you just order a small concrete truck to turn up? But I think what they mean with these concrete taxis, you can have the little truck sitting there and just mix concrete as you need it. So basically, if you're working on a little residential house and you're doing, I don't know, just say fencing in the backyard or something, or putting some posts in, and you don't want that concrete truck sitting there and paying him for waiting time, you can just mix the concrete as you need it. So I imagine that's what that concept would be. What else did we see there? A lot of interesting stuff. I did see there's a lot of new Chinese and Korean branded machines around and attachments. They had a lot of stalls there, so a lot of Chinese and Korean stalls. I think there was a lot of machinery there, apart from like XCMG and all that. There was a few other new brands that I haven't even heard of. So there's a lot of little Chinese brands floating around, and they're doing a lot of attachments in that now. So I don't know if anyone else was there. You can probably agree with me or not, but there was a lot of new Chinese brands floating around. I just need another sip there. I'm talking a lot. What else was there? So a lot of things. Simulators. I got to meet, and I'm really grateful. A lot of people came up to me and said hello, which was a really good feeling to know that people have recognized me and are actually watching what I'm talking about. How you going there, Pete? Nice to see you. We got Debbie as well, Cav, Dirt Pirate, Access Earthworks. So we got a lot of people coming on. So thank you for joining. Just a quick shout out to everyone. So I'm trying to read out names. Thank you for joining, guys. If I miss your name, I'm sorry. What else was there? Okay, so I was going to say though, at Diesel Dirt and Turf. So apart from getting to meet a lot of people and learning about a lot of new products, one thing I did notice is a lot of sales guys were reluctant to actually talk to me, which I found very strange. Like a lot of sales guys, when I tried to approach them and say like, hey, do you want to do a 20-second thing and showcase your stuff? They didn't really want to do it. So it's funny because I listen to a guy called Andy Elliott every now and then and watch him on YouTube. So hopefully someone else here has heard about Andy Elliott. He's like a car sales guy that has become huge and trains people on becoming proper salespeople. And one thing that he always says is that a lot of people think that they're a salesperson, but they actually don't have the true heart, or they don't do as good a job as they think. So a lot of sales guys, I think, don't. How can I put it without offending anyone? I think a true salesman should be able to talk in front of a camera, should be able to talk and promote their products, no matter who they're talking to or whatever. But there's a lot of guys were really reluctant, which was a bit funny to me because I think, if you really want to sell something, you need to just get up and talk in front of cameras and do whatever. It doesn't matter how embarrassed you are or if you think you're not able to do it. And a lot of guys, my hat goes off to the guys that did do it. Some people were a bit reluctant, and then after trying, they were like, "Oh wow, wasn't as bad as I thought." And I know from experience as well, I'm nervous when I come and talk on these things. I'm getting better as well, which is another reason I wanted to do all this podcasting, so I can get better and improve myself, talking, explaining things, getting the correct words out, trying to keep conversation going, and it's working. I'm getting better, getting a lot more confident. Thank you for joining as well. We've got Koza. He's asking some questions there about mining experience. I don't have any mining experience. I wouldn't mind going up to a mine though or something one day and just checking it out. So he's going to a BHP site in bulk water truck. So he's never driven one before. Well, good luck with that, man. I saw a massive, massive water truck at Diesel Dirt and Turf. They are monsters, those things. So good luck with that, man. Hopefully it works out well for you. So yeah, I won't get going on about that, but Diesel Dirt and Turf, I just wanted to say that, yeah, I was surprised a lot of salespeople were a bit reluctant to talk. So I think you should really think about it. If you're a true salesman, you should be able to just get up and talk and promote your stuff wherever you are and whenever. I did do something, so I'll change the subject now. I got some hoodies made up. So in the background here, I got my sample hoodie delivered. I will show you quickly, guys, if I can. 1 second. Anyone that's keen to get one of these, this is the hoodie and what it looks like. So at the front, you've got Earthworks Hub, just a simple one. At the back, you've got the full logo. So sorry if I've lost people, but this is the full logo on the back here and the website. So yeah, overall, very, very happy with that. So that is now also available in my store. So you can go to the website, earthworkshub.com.au, and you can purchase one of those. So the hoodies are now available. Very shortly, I will be making some hats. Just having some issues there with files. Apparently they need certain embroidery files. It can't be just a normal a PNG file or whatever, picture file. Crazy. I'm learning as I go. Thank you for the likes, guys. We've got some questions. Now, I was going to talk about some other things, but I might start answering. So Koza is also saying, so he's the guy that's going to BHP mine. He's asking, do you prefer skid steers or a Posi? I always prefer a Posi track. So a tracked loader, Posi track, whatever guys want to call them. I like the tracks personally. I think you never really sort of get bogged. You do, but you can, but you don't really get bogged if you can try and go in there the right way. And also you can track over like grass and things without ripping them up. You get a bit more of a chance, like a second chance, without ripping stuff up. So to answer your question there, Koza, thanks for the likes. I would say a tracked loader or tracked skid steer or Posi is what is, in my opinion, better. And they're a lot more stable. So I find that if you have the wheeled versions, they're not as stable and they sort of bounce around a bit, especially if you go to lift dirt. So skid steer is saying you can tip a lot easier. I think the Posi tracks are a lot more stable because you've got more track cover on the ground. You know what I mean? You're more balanced. It's like you're spread differently to just having 4 points. You actually spread across the whole perimeter, if that makes sense. And FSA is saying, and they're heaps smoother as well. Yeah, you're right. So especially when you're detailing and stuff, I find that the wheeled ones, you get waves and you bounce around a lot more. The Posi tracks are a lot smoother and also will cut smoother as well. And also have that bit more grunt. So if you have to actually like plow into a pile or you need to like grade and cut like a flat surface, I think they'll cut a lot smoother and have that pushing power, whereas the wheels will just spin. They have their different purposes. I suppose a skid steer tired one might be better on roads. However, on the roads as well, I've noticed when you try and turn or rotate or spin with a wheeled one, it can sort of go sort of bounce you around, if that makes sense. So you sort of judder around, whereas the tracks will you just sort of slide and spin around more. But you do wear your tracks out very quick on the road, which is another point. What else have we got? So how am I going with time? Am I doing all right? Okay, so thanks to FSA Earth Moving. We've got Siva. Who else we got? Built to the T, built to the T. I like that. Cos is saying he likes skid steers for tight turns, and that's about it. Yeah, true. And user is saying that he's just changed his as we speak. Dirt Pirate loves his skid steers. He's saying they're two different machines. Yeah, that's true. I suppose they have their different purposes. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I really just started out in the Posi track and have always sort of stayed in them. And then whenever I've had to jump in someone's skid steer and do something, because I don't go in them often, I didn't like it. I wasn't used to it. I actually went and jumped in the Toyota Husky once and had to use all the foot controls and that, and I felt like a beginner. And I think the guys who were watching me were probably thinking this guy doesn't have any idea what he's doing. But once I jumped back in the Posi, then you know what I mean. It's like I'm home again. So yeah, that little Husky was good, but and also dangerous because when I tried to load the trucks with a full bucket, I was almost tipping all the time. I had to be really careful. So yeah, I do prefer the track loaders, if that's what you guys want to call them. So yeah, the hoodie is there. You can also purchase on my site. Apart from the hoodie, you can purchase t-shirts. And now I've made another series of t-shirts which have all the sponsors on the back. So that way, if you want to have one with like something on the back of them, it has all the sponsors on there. So especially sponsors, they probably want those sort of t-shirts as well. But and they look good with all different patterns on the back too. Thank you for joining Acre Landscaping. Okay, here we go. Tristan is asking, have you ever driven a wheeled excavator and what are they like? Are they different digging? You know, I always wonder, do they lose digging power because of the tires? You know what I mean? Like, I do know they have the little legs that come out and hold them like the backhoes, and they put the legs down, and that sort of strengthens things. But I wonder whether they can't dig as much as a regular excavator because they haven't got that sort of track and weight on the ground. You know what I mean? They've only got those little 4 points plus the 4 points of the tires plus the stands. I don't know. I haven't used one. I had a mate that recently bought one, and now I see that he doesn't have it anymore. I think he sold it. So I wonder whether there's just not enough work for him, or I know they like to use them on like road upgrades and freeways and things because you can do a lot of traveling up and down without having to float machines. So I think, oh yeah, Cos is saying, so yeah, the wheeled excavators they can't because they can't. Yeah, that's why. So they have to be a bit bigger. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they're good for lifting though. So I suppose they can use them as cranes and stuff and move things around. But they're probably made more for like roads and things because they can travel up and down quickly to help people when they need stuff. Whereas if you're in the excavator, you got a track and it takes you ages, and they might need to get trucks to move you around. Yeah, and good for train works. That's exactly right. So user is saying they're good for that. Potter's Plant Hire, thanks for joining as well. So no, I haven't used one. I reckon that'd be interesting. There's a guy I watch posts from him. I can't remember what his name was now. And he has one of those wheeled loaders, but attached to the back of him, he has like a little tipping trailer. So he drags that along at the same time and then loads it while he works, and then reverses back and tips it off. It does it's like an all-in-one system, little truck and machine all in one. It's really good to watch. I can't remember what his name is now, but if I think about it, I'll let you know. So we got Lockie as well. Thanks for joining. So no, wheel loader. No, I haven't. So yes, what was I going back to all the merch? So there's a lot of merch available there now on my website. Tristan is saying difference with a Kubota U55 to the KX57. I operate a 57. What's the difference? The main difference between a U55 and a 57 is the bum on the back. So the 57 is not a zero swing. It would be, and one of my mates bought a 57 for that reason. He wanted more comfort, so he's not bouncing around. So the 57, good if you want to have a bit more comfort. I think the cabin might be a slightly bigger as well inside. And I think the 57 as well might have a little bit more horsepower than the 55. 55 full zero swing machine. long reach on it. Very handy when you need to be up against walls and things. But the 57, probably good when you don't need to be right up hard against other objects or walls and stuff. And the only reason I never got a 57, which I almost got a 57, was because I had to load it in the back of my tip truck. So originally I was carrying my five tonners in the back of the tipper, and it was like a smaller body, well, not the long bodies. And if it was a 57, I would not have been able to fit it in there because the bum would have been sticking out too much, and I wouldn't have that room to keep all the buckets and everything in the truck at the same time. So that's why I ended up getting the 55 as well. So I've had U48s, U55s, KX41, 141s, all different Kubotas. The Kobelco SK50, everything that had a zero swing on it, I could fit in the truck. If it didn't, if it didn't have zero swing, I couldn't fit it in. A good question, user. So user's asking, I say user, it has a whole bunch of numbers after it, but I'm not going to repeat those. User is asking, the video that you recently showed drilling in mudstone, what auger type was it? Full rock or dedicated rock or soil? It was a dedicated rock auger. It was a PD12 on a Case Cx145. So I was in the 14.5 ton case, one of my favorite 15 tonners to operate. That was a PD12 with an extension on there and a dedicated rock auger, and it was 600 mil wide. So the dedicated rock had the little bullet teeth on there, and it chewed through it really, really well. I had to leave it in automatic so that it was sort of spun slow enough to actually dig, and I had to take it out more often to let the teeth cool. Very, very solid ground. I don't know if you've just seen, I posted another video there of the 35 tonner that we've got digging there as well, and he had to go and actually buy tiger teeth and put them on just to be able to get through the tough mudstone. So we tried using rippers, tried using a smaller bucket, and in the end he just kept his GP bucket but bought tiger teeth, and that made a big difference. But very, very solid ground. So I've been detailing there this week as well with the 14 tonner. We tried to start detailing with my 5, but it was just too solid. So now we're using the 15 tonner to do all the detail work. And then I'm going to start doing all the edge beams and all that, probably with the I might have to hammer all the edge beams out a little bit and then dig them with the 5 tonner, and we'll see what happens. But very solid ground, man. Yeah, so user saying he's going to be doing the same thing next week. Yeah, definitely. I reckon definitely the, what do you call it, dedicated rock teeth worked well in that material. So I've tried to use a core barrel in that material before, but it doesn't work. It just spins, doesn't actually do anything. Tristan's asking, what's the Case 5 tonner like? It's been a long time since I used the Case 5, but they were based, I think, on the old Kobelcos. So being in the Kobelco more recently as well, I reckon they're a not bad machine. So yeah, the Case 5 tonner is really good. Case seem to be really good, man. They've got a good backup system and that. Like all the guys I know that have Case machines, they always get the guys come out very, very quick when something breaks down. They got a good service team. Even the Case rental team, every time I've rented stuff from them, they're very, very helpful. So I've got to say, I really like the casing. It's funny, I've never bought one. And I almost did buy a 145, which I probably think I should have bought. But the Case Cx145 would be one of my favorite machines in the offset version. That's like an all-rounder. Case Cx145, tilting hitch, offset boom, rubber pads would be one of the ultimate machines, I reckon. So he's saying, Tristan's saying the new ones are based on a Hyundai of the Case 5 tonner. So the Case 5 tonner now is based on a Hyundai. Okay. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, we learn something new every day. Look, a lot of these machines are based on other machines. So sitting in that Case Cx145, it's funny, they don't even try and hide it. But when I look to the right of the cabin and see that where the hydraulic pump is, some of the hoses that are coming out of the pump actually say Sumitomo on there. So obviously, yeah, Case and Sumitomo, very similar machines. Yeah, the actual hoses do say Sumitomo on them. So they probably, there you go. They don't even really try and hide it. So another quick sip here. It's a Sunday afternoon. Surely we're allowed to. So for um, anyone that hasn't actually signed up or listed their business on the Earthworks Hub website, make sure you do go on there and get some good exposure for your business, because there's a lot of people going on there. I've got Google Analytics set up now, so it tells me there's over 200 and something visits per day on there, so it's starting to increase a lot of interest. So yeah, get your businesses on there, make sure, so you can win some more work, especially in these tougher times. It is a bit quiet, so advertise and make sure you get yourselves known out there and help each other. So, sorry, Helen, we've got some more info here. Dirt Pirate is saying 6 ton and under, they are Hyundai. 8 ton and up, they're a Sumitomo. Case don't make their own excavators. There you go, information for you guys. Thank you very much, Dirt Pirate. Tristan's saying, what are the Komatsu PC138s like? Yeah, so if you look at one of my recent videos, I was just saying before, Ash from Komatsu let me sit on the 138 at the Diesel Dirt and Turf Expo. Yeah, it seemed like a very smooth machine. It was a very short time in it. The PC138 was very smooth. I was busy sort of looking at the RFK or the GPS guidance system more than the actual machine. But overall, it was good. Has a sliding door on it rather than a normal hinge door. What else was there? Had a zero swing bum on it. I think they're a good machine. I had a Komatsu PC78, so I had a Komatsu 8 tonner at one stage, and I found it very slow. I don't know if the machine was just faulty, but I didn't have it for long because it used to irritate me. It was just very slow. I tried changing all the hydraulic fluids on it. Tried getting the hydraulics adjusted, and we just could never get it to sort of be a bit quicker and work at a quicker pace. So I ended up getting rid of it later. But the PC 138 seemed to be, a lot quicker, moved around. It must be just a Komatsu thing. It's like they slow things down a little bit, which, like I say, can be good sometimes because it makes you slow down and think a bit more as an operator. It gives you time to actually concentrate on what you're doing. Whereas sometimes when the machine's a lot quicker, you tend to move quick with it, and then you can sort of do things 2-3 times, or you just sort of go, and then you're not really fully concentrating. So maybe that's the reason that they slowed them down. I don't know, but no, I don't know. The 138, a very brief time in it, and I think it was all right. It was pretty good. Tristan's asking the PC88. What is the difference between the PC88 and the PC78? Is there much difference? You know what? To be honest, I have no idea. I don't know if the 88 is just a new version of the 78. I have a feeling it might be. It might have just taken over. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been in one, so I can't really sort of answer. But I imagine it might just be a different version, like a newer version of it. What else was there? I actually got to use. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that video went up. I got to sit in the Case Cx145 as well. So I got into a zero swing 235. Very happy with that machine as well. I did also notice it had that like a slow return, like, as you're dragging it back towards yourself, it had a very slow return. But that was also good because, like I said before, it gave me time to actually look around while I'm waiting for it to come back in, to look around before I start swinging and that, which is probably a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not like I was losing power in it. It was just a lot slower than what I'm used to. And I suppose I was jumping in out of a 5 tonner into the 20 tonner, and it probably just felt like it was a lot slower because, obviously it's a bigger machine. But yeah, that Case 235 with the blade at the front and in the tight space I was working in was an awesome machine as well. So very happy with that. I did a review on a Yanmar Vio 55. So hopefully you guys got to see that video this week as well. I just released it. Very, very quick videos these are, so I don't spend too much time there going over all the details. There you go. The plumbing company is asking me, how did I find Marco's machine? So he knows which machines I'm talking about. So yeah, the 235 was fantastic. I sat in the Vio 55. So I've used the Yanmars in the past, but I haven't sat in these new burgundy ones. I love that color. I had a discussion with someone the other day, and they reckon I'm crazy. They say they don't like them, but I actually like that burgundy color. I reckon it's a good change. I don't see anything wrong with it. So I actually like it. It stands out. But overall, the Yanmar was very, very good. I felt like it was still very powerful, a lot more stable than my Kubota, probably on par with the Komatsu PC55. Um, had good reach. Um, I didn't actually look if they. I think are they turbo? Can anyone confirm that? Because I could hear like a turbo noise every time I was using it. I didn't get time to open it because I was sort of working, and that's why when I do reviews on these machines, I can't always get out and check everything because I'm actually working, so I can't stop and get out and film. It's only the ones where I can stay back and have a look at them properly that I can do like a whole proper review. But the Vio 55, I reckon it was a good machine. Very, very good machine. Like I said, I like that color. They haven't really changed that much from the older ones. But surprisingly stable. Yeah, for a zero swing machine, very, very stable. Um, and I used it without a tilting hitch and still found it like not too bad. Now I'm so used to my tilting hitch. When I don't have one, I hate it. But that wasn't too bad. Darren, thanks for joining. Angry Operator's joined as well. Got JP Concrete. I saw Angry Operator at Diesel Dirt and Turf. Thanks for coming up saying hello. Yeah, Tristan's saying he operated a Vio 55 a long time ago and he loves them. Darren saying SK55 Cabelco, what do you think? Well, I think they're a good machine as well. Something I noticed in the Yanmar and the Cabelco is there was like this squealing noise every time I pulled the arm up, right up, or if I tried to put a lot of pressure on it, there was like a squealing noise. I think that is because both of those machines happen to have the burst valves. I think it's the burst valves that make that squealing noise. But that's what I noticed with the Cabelco and the Yanmar. They had that little squeal when I was trying to pull the bucket back. So I don't know if anyone can confirm that or not, but I just remember both of those machines had burst valves on them, and both of them did like a squealing noise. But the Cabelco was good. I did a video not long ago with an SK55, and I used it in a job where we were in like really, really thick mud, really, really hard. Like we were lifting up 600 mil concrete pipes, and we were doing all this sort of work in a little creek area, so I kept sinking all the time. And the tracks were fully covered in mud in the SK55, and it still performed well, man. Like it did slow down a bit because of all the mud in the drives and that, but overall the machine did really well. But I do remember that it had like a squeal, and I reckon that's what it is. It's the burst valves. Oh yeah, here we go. The angry operator's confirming. Yeah, so he says in the SK500, the valves do it because it does his head in. Yeah, I think you're right, man. That must be them because that's the only machines I've heard it on. Yeah, and Darren's also saying yeah they do that. So that's it. Yeah, Darren's saying that he does it as well. So it must be the burst valves because on my Kubota I don't have them and it doesn't actually do it. So and on a couple of other machines I used, I've noticed it doesn't do that noise. Oh, we got Bean Digging, we got Style Civil on Insta, Elite Show and Shine. Thanks for joining, guys. Mick Cruisers. Angry Operator saying you just passed 90 degree with a full bucket and you hear it. Yes, very true. Yeah, you do hear it. So one thing I did like about the Yanmars is that they have that little sliding cover in front of all the rams on the top, on the dipper arm, on the boom. They've got covers everywhere, so that way you can't hit the rams or the cylinders. I know on my Kubota, I bent my one, and then I've got this squeal now. Every time I bring the bucket in and out, sorry, I just hit the mic. Every time I bring the bucket in and out, the sliding protector screeches metal to metal, and it gets really annoying. I actually took it off the other day. I've had enough. So I tried bending it back and all this, and it's just I can't get it right again. Now it just squeals. Angry operator. When's the big announcement? We met the controversial angry operator. So yes, I did. I actually at Diesel Dirt and Turf. I was just saying to the guys, I actually met the controversial angry operator. You know what? I think, in my opinion, I think you're a top bloke, man. You're coming up, saying hello, having a quick chat. You can tell what someone's like. It was good to meet you. I think everyone's got different opinions on things, and we just have to all be able to deal with it. You know what I mean? So no, it was good to meet you. And like I said, it was really nice to see that people recognize me, and it makes me proud to say that what I'm doing is effective. So thank you, and thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you very much. What have we got? Trista saying, "Are the Bobcat 5 tonners good? I've only operated a 1.8." Yeah, it was good to see you too, man. I haven't operated a Bobcat 5 tonner. Hang on, have I? I can't remember. I've been in so many machines, I can't remember. I don't think I have used a Bobcat 5 tonner, but I imagine that'd be good. Yeah, I reckon that'd be good. Um, Tristan saying, yeah, they're awesome. So, oh no, sorry, Darren. Darren's saying to Tristan, yeah, that he's saying the Bobcat 5 tonners are awesome. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried one. It might be good to have a go one day, but I haven't actually sat in one. So I'm just gonna have another sip. Look, it's nearly empty. Thank you very much for the likes, guys. So this show, for anyone that joined a bit later, I'm going to be posting it up as well. So what I've decided to do now is, yeah, for a lot of people that missed these shows or wanted to hear something or can't remember something, I'm going to post it up as a podcast every week, so you can actually go back and listen to them. So I know you can always fast forward if it's a bit boring for you, but if you want to go back and check something, at least you got the ability to do that now. So they'll be posted now every week as well. But I'll still be doing podcasts with other guys and that in between. So this is just like a weekly thing. What else was there? The Case 235, the Yanmar. Thanks for joining. Oh, Sexy 80. Some of these names on here are really good. So we've got new listings. So I already repeated that before. I've got a list here that I'm looking at. So make sure I've got a couple of new listings on there on the website. So we've got, let me just grab this. Oh, we got, who have we got? So we've got a few new ones. So Nexgen Landscapes have become a sponsor and they've listed Mills Excavation. We've got a lot of financial companies on there now. So if you guys need finance, make sure you go on to the Earthworks Hub website and you can see those guys. You try and use the services of the people that are on this system, you know. But yeah, you've got all sorts of people on network finance, EI engineering, Styles, civil, Presty plumbing, Ascend Earthworks. There's heaps on here. So make sure you go on there, use the services of the guys that are here. It's Australia wide. If you haven't listed and you want more work, make sure you go on there. So you don't have to be just excavator businesses. You can be sales, attachment sales, machinery sales. You can be formwork guys, concreters, whatever, anything to do. NDD truck operators, anything like that. You can any sort of earthworks business, a plumber, electrician, anything to do with digging in the ground. List your businesses on there. So someone here, what have we got? So Tristan 777 is saying the other day he operated a 1988 Komatsu 22 ton. 1988, wow. It was crazy. I was loading logs with it. A 1988 model, wow. That must be like that old square. Was that like the old square type cabins and square, really, really square type machine? Like that's what I imagine when you say 1988. So that would be what, 36 years old, yeah. Yeah, the square type, yeah. Has anyone seen how they used to operate machines in the old days? They used to have like the old string and chain thing, and they used to actually use that. Crazy. Caleb, thanks for joining. Who else is on here? We got Mick Cruisers. Tristan saying that machine had controls at the front. And Koza saying he even operated in a backhoe. Oh, have I ever operated a backhoe? Sorry, guys, there's a fly attacking me here. Koza, I think he's trying to say ever operated in a backhoe. I have had a quick go in the backhoe. I think it was a cat, and I was hopeless. Very, very bad on it. I was trying to pick up dirt. I was trying to pick up crushed rock. No, screenings. That's right. I remember I was trying to pick up screenings, and they were really upset with me because I mixed all the screenings with the dirt. I couldn't pick it all up. Absolutely hopeless. I thought it'd be easy, so I said, "Yeah, I'll just jump in and move some stuff for you." And I couldn't pick it up for the life of me. Um, I had to get someone to stand outside and guide me to lift the bucket or tilt it or whatever to try and pick up without making a mess. They weren't very happy. Darren is asking, thank you very much for the likes. Marchin, thanks for joining. Darren is asking, what do you think of the ASV Posi? I don't know which particular model, but the ASV, hey, how you going? Yeah, the ASV, I've had an ASV RC30, so a little what do you call it? Like a PT30. The Terex used to call them PT30s. So I had a little open cab RC30 ASV with a Perkins motor. That was really, really good for a small little posi track. Fantastic little machine, powerful, quick. And that used to go and fit down the side of houses. I'll be roaring around. People couldn't believe it. When I used to turn up with the RC30, people used to look at me and go, "Oh God, here we go. This is going to take forever." And then when they see me start moving in that thing, they used to be amazed. Small bucket, so you couldn't really carry too much at once, but you could zip around so quick in it. And yeah, the only thing I hated was open cab. I could smell diesel and fumes all the time. That's the only thing I hated. All the exhaust fumes in it. So especially when you're tearing down the side of a house and that, as you go out or in the property and come back out, you're smelling all that fumes that you've just left behind. So that's the only thing I hated about the open cab, and it was loud. That little RC30 was loud. I used to wear earmuffs. So that's the ASV RC30. Then they became Terex. So I had a PT60. Marchin will know about the Terex PT60. Awesome little posi track. That was one of my favorites, but it was also open cab and good vision. You could see down the bottom of the bucket. Very light machine. You could go straight over the top of mulch, straight over the top of grass without destroying it. I really, really enjoyed that machine. It had enough power to do what I wanted it to do, and that was a really good machine. So the only thing is that it got accumulated a lot of hours on it, and then it came time to upgrade, and I ended up going with a different machine. So it just happened to get, I can't remember what it was, a better price at that time, or I can't remember what it was. Here we go. Marchin was saying, had perspex on that posi to make it close. That's right. Yes, I forgot about that, Marchin. Yes, I actually invented I think you helped me put them on, man. We got perspex, so we went to Bunnings, bought some clear perspex, and we screwed perspex to the sides and on the little front section to try and make it partly closed cab. That's right, I forgot. And it did work. It made it better because you could at least stop the wind coming in from the sides, especially when it was winter. That's right, Martin. You reminded me of that. So yeah, we used perspex to try and enclose it a bit. I actually bought a massive piece of perspex and hinges and was going to make a front door. The only problem was, if I did do that, we didn't have a wiper on the front. We didn't have aircon and heating in there, so you wouldn't be able to demist. It would fog up straight away. But it definitely, yeah, Martin, I agree, man. You're saying it made it a lot more comfortable in winter because it used to be freezing in there. So yeah, I remember being always, and then when it rained in the posi track, it used to, with the open cab, all your knees used to get all wet, and then then you operate for the rest of the day with wet pants and that. Oh, yes, don't remind me, don't remind me of those days. And then when you're doing topsoil, and then you got your sunglasses on, at the end of the day, you take them off and you look like a raccoon because you've got all white around your eyes. So yeah, no, I do. I've had a PT60. We had what else do I have? I had a SVL75. That was a very powerful posi track. Very heavy though. So yeah, that's right. After the PT60, I upgraded to the Kubota SVL75. I just found it very, very heavy. 4.5 ton and loud. That big fan on the back was so loud. And it used to be, the cabin used to shake a lot. I remember as you're tracking, loving the likes, man. Thank you. Yeah, as you're tracking the whole cabin used to shake and rattle. So yeah, that actually got stolen. That the SVL75 went missing from a job, and all they left was the smudge bar on site. Actually, they left my tip truck and the smudge bar there, and then just took the posi track. And then after that SVL75, I ended up with the Cat 239, and that's a very very nice machine. The the Cat 239D, very very nice. Um, and that's why I was looking at the Cat 255. I couldn't wait to see the unveiling of the 255 because I wanted to upgrade to a 259. And then now that the 255 is out, yeah, you never know. You never know. We'll see what happens. What else? What else? So no, thank you for all the topics and the feedback, guys. This is really good. Something actually, I wanted to raise a point. Somebody sent me during the week a question about running a business. So obviously, I've got my business. I did business management at uni. I used to manage other. I was a production manager for over 11 years as well in the past. So I was in the corporate world. So I do understand a lot about, running businesses, finance, all that stuff in the background that a lot of people hate. Somebody during the week said, "Can I talk a little bit more about the actual financials of a business and go a little bit more into detail?" So I'm going to start doing that. I might actually do a whole episode on that in the near future, where I talk about, and I can actually run you through. I actually have spreadsheets that I use to determine how well I'm running. So with my spreadsheets, I say like what my profit is on the machine, how much I get per hour, basically. Then I say, all right, what are my expenses on that? So I go through every single expense, deduct that from the profit. If I have an operator, all the operator's expenses, super, this, that, payroll, tax. And then I actually have at the bottom of my spreadsheet what I actually end up with on a daily basis for each machine. So I think I might share that with you guys. So do you guys want me to share that? If you want me to do a podcast on high-end financials for your business, I'm happy to do that. Darren saying yes, so that's good, man. That's very good. I will do that. I think it'd be a good idea, just for everyone to be able to work out how effective their business really is. Because I think a lot of us think we're doing really, really well, but sometimes when you sit down and crunch the numbers, you might not be doing as well as you think. Before I get any further, Koze is asking, is it worth getting a machine to dry hire? Is it worth getting a machine to dry hire? That is a good question. I have dry hired machines in the past. So Echuka Civil, thanks for joining. Mitchell as well. We got Mark O'Donnell. I think it depends on what you want to do. If you want to just dry hire your businesses, if you just want to dry hire your equipment, it might be hard because a lot of times if you're not a dry hire company, people don't know you, they're not going to come to you first. Yeah, they're going to go to all those proper rental places that do it permanently. So you have to either have some people that that will rent it from you every now and then. So for instance, I had a 1.8 ton Kubota at one stage. I used to use that for my own jobs. And then if somebody, Nexgen Civil, thanks for joining. Then if somebody that I knew, like I had a couple of plumber friends, instead of having their own machines, they used to just ring me and say, "Hey, can we just dry hire your 1.8 ton every now and then?" And the 5 tonner as well. So they used to just say, "Can we dry hire your 5?" And I'd just make sure I don't book any jobs on those days. But for me to have it just sitting there and waiting for people to dry hire it, I would have had a lot of days where it wasn't doing anything. So I had to do a bit of a blend. I had to use it for myself and then also rent it out. The only other thing is, yeah, if you get something and then advertise yourself as just dry hiring it all the time, maybe it's worth it. But I stopped dry hiring because not those after my 1.8 tonner got stolen, I didn't get another one. That was getting rented a lot more. The 5 tonner got rented a few times, and the last time the 5 tonner got rented, it came back with concrete all over it. So the guys that rented it, I'm not going to name names, but the guys that rented it were my live's going to end. Hang on a second. Oh, it's good now. Yeah, so the guys that rented that 5 tonner I think they were doing board piers, or they were doing some sort of concrete work. They used my 5 tonner to cart the concrete from the front of the property to the back, fill the holes, come back. As they were tracking, they obviously were splashing in the bucket, and it was splashing all over the machine. They obviously had the cabin open and the front window open, and it went all over the interior. And then instead of doing the right thing and cleaning it, they just left the machine with the concrete on it. It all went hard, and it was a pain in the ass trying to clean that machine and get it back to normal again. That was the last straw. I had guys like break stuff on there. Someone twisted the hitch. Somebody broke the pedals on the foot levers. All sorts of stuff on other jobs, and that's it. Yeah, I stopped. That concrete killed me. That was the last straw, and I said never again. And then when I tried to charge that person cleaning fees, they weren't happy with me and all this sort of crap. And yeah, I tried to back charge, and they just wouldn't have any of it, and I refused to give them business anymore. And then yeah, just trusting the operators, because when you're renting it out, you don't know who's going to be sitting on that machine. So that's the other problem. Yeah, so someone's asking, so what do we got? Tristan saying, is it best to stick with one brand with excavators in the business? You could say that. I think what I tried to do at one stage is I tried to go all out Kubota. So I had all Kubota 5 tonners, Posi Track 1.8. I had a few, I thought I'll just do everything Kubota. That way, if I get a service done, the same service guy comes out, does all the machines. They've got all the parts all in one spot. But it doesn't always work. It doesn't really matter, because even though I tried to do that, I ended up, because I needed different sizes. I had Cabelco 14s, 20s. Had to have all different brands in the end anyway. And sometimes I just had like mobile mechanics come out and work on stuff, and they worked across all the machines anyway. So it didn't really matter. Darren's saying stick with Cabelco, it's the best. They are. Look, the Cabelcos are good machines. And the service, so Melbourne Tractors are one of my sponsors. Their service is fantastic. They helped me out a lot. I have to tell you, they went beyond what they had to do in a lot of times. Even when it came to insurance, when I had machines broken into and things stolen, they helped me through all the insurance processes. Really, really nice guys to work with, down to earth. So I can't say a bad thing about them. I think, and Cabelco does make good machines. Do they service your? Oh, lucky I didn't read that out. We get some weird people on here. Tristan saying, "I wish Kubota made a 13." Yeah. Look, I think when I spoke to the Kubota guys, they were saying they just want to specialize in up to, the 8-ton machine, and that's it. Like that's their biggest machine. I think that might be a smart move, because if they expand too much, then they've got more parts to have to worry about. You know what I mean? It just means they're going to have to worry about a lot more, whereas this way they can concentrate on the machines that they have. And Kubota still does a lot of farming equipment, so that was their main focus originally, I think. So they're just going to focus on that one market, which is the smaller machines, and it might be a wise decision, not spreading it themselves too thin. So yeah, Martin, thank you for the likes. So that's my opinion on that. How are we going with time? Am I doing all right? I'm babbling on a lot here. I have started a Facebook page, so make sure you go onto the Facebook Earthworks Hub Facebook group. Not a Facebook page, a first Facebook group. This fly is attacking me. It's going crazy. I started a Facebook group called Earthworks Hub, so make sure you join that group. I'm going to be trying to post a lot of stuff on there just for our individual group. I've got so many bloody socials now that I'm not sure what I'm posting where anymore. So sometimes I post something in Insta and TikTok and then forget Facebook or forget YouTube. So I think I've got to start looking at that. And I've got some of my old accounts and account names that I'm trying to still post in, and it's just becoming a lot. So I'm going to have to start streamlining that. Even like with Eagle One Industries, I'm not posting things on there anymore. I'm just doing it all through Earthworks Hub. So you might notice I'm not posting much on Eagle One anymore. It's just because I can't post across so many different socials. Darren is saying he doesn't like the New Holland Posi tracks, just not powerful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm not a big fan of them. I did sit in a couple of them. A couple of mates have those, and I don't know. A couple of guys swear by them. And it's the same as the Case Posi. Yeah, I don't know. Some guys like them, some don't. I just, I don't know. I don't know if I like them that much. Yeah, the electric controls let them down. Tristan saying electric controls let the machines down, the Posis. Yeah, you're probably right. You're right. The electric over hydraulic or whatever is good. Like I have to admit, like the cat is very, very smooth. The hydraulics are so sensitive that after I jump in any other Posi track and then jump into the cat, I just, I don't know, just so smooth. It's just really, really smooth. Yeah, he's Darren's saying he'll stick with the cat. BKA Earthworks, thanks for joining as well. So yeah, I've still got a little bit more time. I can keep taking questions. Also, we've got Level Up Earth moving here as well now. So thanks for joining. Yeah, so what else would you guys like to discuss? I'm leaving it up to you guys. Oh no, sorry. I forgot to keep going with the financials. That's what I was going to start with. So I will be doing a podcast mainly on like finances for the business. Something I want to double check with guys is, do you have a separate account for your GST and taxes? And I'm going to mention this because I recently got caught out myself, and something that my father-in-law used to have his own business, and he taught me this from the start. Keep a separate account. So some really, really good advice here. Keep a separate account for your GST and some tax, so that you don't get caught out when it comes time to paying tax and not have any money. Because what I got taught is that every time you get paid an invoice, so every time a customer pays you for some jobs that you did, so this is for the guys that run their own business, every time your invoices get paid, instantly take out 10% and put it into a separate account, and take another 10% out for tax time and put it in there. So that way, when you come to your quarterly BAS statements, your business activity statements, when it comes time to paying GST back to the government who love taking our money, make sure your separate account will make sure that you have that GST money there. Then when it comes to the end of year and you've got to actually pay your overall financial year tax, you'll have that money in there as well. Then if you don't end up making as much money and not having to pay as much tax as you thought, what you've got left in there can be your bonus for the end of the year. But that's something I got taught right from the start, and I was doing that for a long time. Then it got a little bit tight, obviously during COVID and stuff, and I started not putting money into the second account, and then using a lot of that money that was sitting in the business account and almost drying it up to the bottom. And then when it came time to paying GST back or doing your BAS or paying tax, I didn't have the money there. And it took me a long time to get back into putting 10, 20% of every invoice that I get paid back into a separate account, and finally getting back into that groove of doing it automatically and then having the funds there. So something that a lot of guys probably face is when it comes time to paying your BAS, not having the funds there. Because if you've used whatever money you had in your business account, and it can go quick, you've used it all, and then you get your BAS statement, you got to pay 4, 5, 6, 7 grand, and you don't have the money. Then you start falling behind, and it becomes a problem. So just something that you got to keep in mind, guys. Just some business advice there. Open up a little separate account, separate to your business account. As soon as you get paid an invoice from one of your customers, take out 20%, put it straight into that account. So the 10% of it will be for the GST you got to pay back at your quarterly BAS statement, and the other 10% will be there for when you got to pay your tax at the end of the year. Then you don't have to worry about coming up with those funds. It's already there. And if you do it automatically, you'll get used to not needing that 20%. You know what I mean? So hopefully that is good. That's some advice that you guys can take, and hopefully you use it. What's the best big size hammer for rock? I do a lot of rock jobs. It depends on your machine, man. It depends what size machine, depends on what size rocks you're breaking. It depends if the rocks are out loose and you're just downsizing, or if they're in the ground and you're breaking down into trenches. It all depends. So probably a hard question to answer without that much information. Tristan's asking, is the Cat 259 a good Posi? Yeah, I think it is. I think a 259 is a good overall posi. That's probably what I reckon would be the ultimate, and that's why I reckon the 255 will be a really good machine. So for anyone that is a cat operator already, you can probably comment further. But I think the Cat 259 is a fantastic overall posi track. We got NWS Earthworks, Level Up Earth Moving Nexgen. We got the Truca Civil. We got Marchin, Darren, Jen, Payden, Mullen here. We got Tristan. So we got a lot of people interacting, which is really good to see. In the background, I don't know if you guys can see all this, but I'll spin my camera around a bit. My hat collection is, I'll turn that one that way. The hat collection is growing. So at the Diesel Dirt and Turf, I ended up getting myself a lot of goodies. People were handing stuff out left, right, and centre. The only bad thing is, a lot of guys were saying, a lot of stall holders were saying that kids come there and just scab everything. So that, and they were trying to sort of hide stuff so the kids don't take all the stock. Before people with actual proper interest are there, and they should be the ones getting everything. But kids were like crazy, especially on the Saturday and Sunday at Diesel Dirt and Turf. There were a lot of prams, a lot of families around, and the kids were going around and just getting gifts galore. So look, it's good to give out gifts and stuff, but I know it costs a lot of money. Getting merch for your business is not cheap, and you sort of want to hope that, giving merch away, is going to attract customers to your business. And if kids are just taking it, I mean, it's good. Those kids might be operators or business owners one day, might use your services, but it might be a long time away. I think most of them were just using it like show bags, trying to see what what they could get for the weekend. What else is there? I think I might be wrapping it up very shortly, guys. Before I go any further, I'm just going to say what I always say. Make sure that you follow me on all my socials. So make sure you follow Earthworks Hub on Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you follow on Spotify or Apple if you're on Apple Podcast. Make sure that you like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Join the Facebook group now. So Earthworks Hub, I've made a Facebook group. Make sure you list your business. So if you want to get more customers, if you want to get more work, list your business on earthworkshub.com.au, and that way everyone can see what services you offer. A lot of guys, I've got to say it again, and it keeps happening, people just register. So they sign up as a new user, but they don't actually then list their business. It's 2 steps. So you got to register first, and then you've actually got to list your business. So you got to go in, add listing, put your business details in, go to check out, do all the financial stuff there, and then when you confirm, then your listing will come up, and then people can actually see your business. So when they click on a category, they'll find your business. If they just click on search, and whatever state your business will come up. So make sure you do it properly. Go to both steps. Register yourself or sign up and add your listing. Benji's saying he thinks Benji should rep an Earthworks Hub t-shirt. Yeah. Well, if you want to rep an Earthworks Hub t-shirt, go to earthworkshub.com.au and you can see a whole bunch of t-shirts there in the store. So definitely go in. There's t-shirts there's hundreds of colors. You've got ones with sponsors on the back. Now there's hoodies available. I just showed all the guys on here the hoodies that I've got, and soon there will be hats coming up. So a couple of guys, I've actually got a lot of people buying merch at the moment. So I just noticed, I logged in there the other day and noticed there's a lot of merch being purchased. So that's really good. Thank you to all the guys that have been doing that. But yeah, check out the hoodies now. Winter is coming. I'm going to have hats coming up soon. Like I said, I'm struggling to get the logo designed properly for the hats. They apparently need some sort of embroidery file. It can't be just a regular picture file. Makes my life hard. But yeah, we'll sort that out. What have we got? Oh, Tristan. One last question, I suppose. Tristan saying, what tipper truck do you have? At the moment, Tristan, I don't have a tipper. I got rid of all my trucks. The last tipper I had was my Fuso. So I had a Fuso Shogun, um, 400 whatever it was horsepower. I can't remember which model it was, but it was the higher horsepower one, with the AA diesel body on it, toolbox on the behind the cab over. Very very good truck, automatic. My first auto truck that was. Yeah, the Fuso was a very very good truck. Before that, I had a Volvo, um, NL10. I think it was no, FL10. Sorry, I had a Volvo FL10 cab over, an older one, like 2000 or 1999 or whatever model it was. Um, I had a Mack CH688 Elite, which was a very good tipper, um, with a Road Ranger in it. Had a little Mazda T4600, which is like a little 4-ton tip truck. And then I had a Hino tray truck with an auger set up on the back. So I had all the augers on the rack and stuff. That was more like, and like a beaver tail. So we used to use that for all the drilling and stuff. Marchin's going. See ya, Marchin. Thanks for joining. Make sure you join next week as well. Yeah, that's the trucks that I had. Tristan is saying, oh, another Ivan here. Thank you for joining, Ivan. We got Long Ridge Contracting as well. The Tristan is saying the business he worked for has a Kenworth T404 SAR tipper. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, good trucks. Look, any Kenworth is pretty much a good truck. I like most Kenworths. I actually wanted to get myself like a Kenworth and get it all chromed up and this and that, but I don't know. I don't really have the time to be detailing and doing all this stuff. So, and I found that I didn't really need a truck, and because I'm trying to downsize and streamline and focus more on my podcasting and this and that, I can't really afford to have a truck anymore. So, it's good. Yeah, the Kenworth T404, very good. Got JPG Excavations got a question. How have you dealt with those 1 to 2 day jobs that come up without the truck? Yeah, this is one of my issues. JPG, very very good question. Floats. I find that customers are very reluctant to pay for a float back out, so they're happy to pay for the float coming in, but not for the float going out. So luckily, the jobs I've had recently, I've had another job to go to, so then I just charge them the float in, and then charge the next customer the float in from that job, if that makes sense. So that's how I've been doing it. Or I'll just leave it on their site until the next job comes up. Worst case, if they say to me, look, man, you really have to move this machine, it's in the way, and it's been there for a week or two, then I've just had to get it floated back, either to my yard or to a mate's yard or somewhere until next job. And that's where I'll lose out, yeah, because I've had to pay for the float. However, when I think about it, me having to pay that second float instead of the customer, it still works out cheaper than having a tip truck. Like I had my Fuso, brand new Fuso, costing over $3,000 a month, and a lot of times that sat there, and I didn't use it because I was doing this sort of stuff. My machines would be just moved and left on site, so I'd use the truck to float it there. Then my truck would just sit at the yard until I finish with the machine, and then have to go pick it up. So that one-time float that I get stuck with, I suppose it still works out cheaper than having to own that machine, that truck, and all the associated costs with it. You know what I mean? To just sit there, and then occasionally use it. Tristan, yeah, see you, mate. Thanks for your interactions, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Yeah, very happy to do that. Hopefully, I answered everything for you. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, so JPG, hopefully, I answered that question. Yes, it is. Not having a truck can make it difficult. So, like I said, at the moment, I have to pay. The customer will pay the float in. Sometimes they'll pay both ways, but a lot of times they'll only want to pay the one way, and then I just try and leave the machine there until the next job. And worst case, I'll have to float it out if they can't let it sit there. So, and then we'll see if it becomes an ongoing issue. I might have to get a truck again, or I might end up getting rid of all the machines, and just become a contracting operator. So I don't have any of that stuff to worry about while I'm trying to focus on this social media stuff. Guys, I have to love you and leave you. It is time to finish. I really appreciate all the interactions here. Appreciate all the people that came up to me at Diesel Dirt and Turf. Like I said, the more likes and follows I have, more subscribers, the more people that are talking to me about stuff and recognize me shows me that what I'm doing is working, and makes me want to keep doing more for you. And yeah, if you guys want to sponsor, I'm still looking for sponsors. Always happy to talk to people about that. I want to be attending a few more events. So if anyone knows of any more events coming up, let me know. Any sort of expos, whether anywhere in Australia. I'm happy to travel a bit if I have to. There's a couple of big things coming up. I will see what other podcasts. I won't say anything at this stage, but there's going to be a few good podcasts coming up, and I will talk about the finances. I'll do a feature on that. Keep an eye out for new posts this week. So I'm still posting a lot of stuff from the Diesel Dirt and Turf Expo, and a couple of more machine reviews. Working on the basement still for the rest of this week, so I'll have a bit more basement stuff coming up, updates on my projects and so forth. So guys, make sure you go and follow everything, socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, what do you call it, YouTube, all that stuff. Make sure you follow me, follow, all that stuff. Anyway, I won't repeat myself. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today. This will be posted up as a podcast shortly, and hope to see you all next week. Have a good week this week. Take care, guys.